So it says Liam has $10 in his savings account and he plans to deposit. What happens when you deposit money? Are you adding to your account or subtracting? We are adding an additional $5 each. Oh, there's that word each. What does each mean? X times multiply. He wrote the equation, so you can see his equation over here, y equals 5x plus 10, and created the graph to show the relationship. All right, so find the slope of the graph. How do we find slope on the graph? Rise over run. So if I zoom in on this graph, remember we're looking for pretty points and we're paying attention to the scale. What is my rise? 5. What's my run? 1. 1 over 5 or 5 over 1? 5 over 1. Very nice. And where do we see that slope in his equation? Where do you see that 5 slope in the equation? Y equals mx plus b. So your slope is always going to be the number that is the coefficient of x. So we can make a little note right here. Where do we see it in the equation? It is the coefficient. Remember that word from first unit? It is our number in front of x. Then, so this is the new part. That was the stuff we've been doing. It says, where does the graph intersect the y-axis? Where do you see it on the y-axis? At 10. 0, 10. Write it as a coordinate. And where do we see this in Liam's equation? Where is it? It's the b, right? So the y-intercept, or the b, is the constant. Right? He always has that $10 before he started saving each week. Slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b, is one way to write an equation of a linear relationship. Linear. That means that it makes a line when we graph it, which means, okay, so m is our slope, our rate of change. Those are the words that tell us that. And our b is our y-intercept. It is our constant. Other words you might hear for this: beginning, start, right? B for beginning. All right, on 1 through 4, all we are doing is identifying the pieces. All we're doing is identifying our slope, our m, and our y-intercept, our b. And I want you writing that y-intercept as a coordinate. So tell me my slope in this first equation. 5 over 2, or 2.5. Because it is written as a decimal, I will take it, but 5 over 2 is better. What's our b? 4. Okay, it is a coordinate on a graph, so we're going to write 0, 4. 0, 4, because that's where it's crossing the y-axis. What about number 2? What's our slope here? Negative 1 over 7. What direction is this graph going? Down. It's going to go down. This one is going to go up. Oh, be careful here. What's the y-intercept? 0, yeah, because we don't write plus 0, do we? So this is going through the origin. Be careful on number 3. What's missing? The slope. What is it? A negative 1. Negative 1. Remember, we don't write that invisible 1, so this is going down. What is our b? 0, negative 8. Ooh, cautious here. What is the slope? 3 over 2. Your slope is always the one with the x. And your b is the constant. What's our constant? 0, 15. How are we going to find the slope on number 5? What do you notice about the direction? It is negative. I'm going to go ahead and put my minus sign here so I remember that. And we're looking, remember, we're looking at that graph. We're finding for those nice pretty points where it crosses the grid. We said you can count from any of them and pay attention to your scale. This happens to be counting by 2's on the Y and 1 on the X's. So how many is my rise on this? Be careful. I'm going down. Am I going down 2?
Yes.
Really? Going down 4 because the scale. So we're going down 4 and over 1. Now, if I go to the right, is that a positive or a negative 1?
Positive.
That is a positive. So my slope is negative 4 over 1 or 1 over negative 4? Negative 4 over 1. Very nice. Remember, rise over run. What's my B value? Where's my y-intercept, my constant? 0, 18. Very nice. It's a coordinate. Okay, so if we're going to write our equation y equals mx plus b, I am going to take those values and I'm going to put them into my equation. So y equals, what's my m? You can write negative 4 over 1 or you can write negative 4. We know that is our slope because we're going to put the x after it. And then what's our b?
18.
What kind of 18 is that? Positive. So sometimes the b is a negative and that's okay. Let's look at the next one. So what's our slope? Again, we're going to start with our pretty points. Here's some pretty points. I also have an x-intercept there. That's a pretty point. Is this a positive or a negative slope?
Positive.
All right, and the scale is by 1s, which is very nice. So I'm going to rise how many? I'm going to run how many? 2. What's my slope? 3 over 2. What's my b? 0, 3. What's my equation? Y equals what? 3 over 2x plus 3. What do you notice about this line? It is negative. Look for those nice pretty points. We got a couple. Scale is by 1, so that's nice. How many am I going down?
1.
So that's a negative, and I'm running 3. What's my slope? Negative 1 over 3. What's my b?
Negative 2.
0, negative 2. What's my equation?
Y equals negative 1 over 3x plus.
Do we want to say plus? We could say plus a negative 2, but minus 2 is better.
Minus 2.
So now we're going to go the opposite direction. So now I'm giving you the equation. I want you to draw the line. So this is our m, and this is our b. When we do this, we always start with our b, and then we graph our slope. So what's my b here? 0, negative 4. That's way down here on the bottom of my my y-axis, and then it's a positive slope, right? Rise over run. So am I going to go up? How many? 2 and over? 1, 2, 3. And you guys, you can keep that pattern going if you wanted more than 1 dot, or 2 dots, I mean. But really, we only need 2 dots. And there's our line. It is increasing. We can check this in the calculator by graphing to make sure it matches our picture. All right, shall we try another one? Ooh, where do we start on this one? 45. Okay, there. Oh, I only have one number. What am I going to do with that negative 5? Because I don't have a run. I only have a rise.
Make it a 1.
Make it a 1, yeah. So we're going to go down because it is a negative. Pay attention to your scale. Based on that scale, how many am I actually going down? Just 1 because it's counting by 5s. And I'm going to go over what? Just 1 because the x's are counting by 1s. So I could actually keep that going or pretend my line is straight. This one's a little tricky also. I'm supposed to start at my y-intercept, but do I have a y-intercept? What is it if it's not there? It's not 1. It's going to be 0. The origin, good. Now, that negative is in the middle. Remember, it can go in the top or it can go in the bottom. It doesn't actually matter. So we can do one of two things. Do you want to go up or down first? Okay, so we can go down 1. If we go down 1, then our run is positive, and we're going to go which direction?
Right.
To the right. So you can do that. Or if we put the negative in the bottom, then we're going to go up 1. And then how do I go -2 on the bottom?
The left.
I'm going to go to the left. But did I pay attention to my scale? No, I didn't. But it didn't actually matter because they're both 2s. So here is my line. So what I meant by my scale right here is 1/2. If I have a -1/2 and I multiplied it by 2, that's the same as 2/4. So because the scale was the same, we're okay. We just have to make sure we pay attention to that. So in a table, so we've looked at all of these different formats. Change in Y over change in X. Ooh, these are all very ugly. What can you pick out of that table before we do anything? What is the y-intercept? -3. Then y-intercept is, that's why I have you write it as a coordinate. It is always where x is 0. You can make a mini table. You can use your formula. It's up to you. How do we go from -3 to -1.4? Plus 1.6, and 0 to 2 is plus 2. So if I have 1.6 over 2, I get 4/5. So y equals, so what's my equation? Y equals 4/5 x. What's my b?
-3.
-3. What about number 12? Where do you want to start?
0.35.
Okay, very nice. There's my b. Always wanting to look for that. And then we can see how things are changing. How do you go from 200 to 35?
165.
Plus 165, and 0 to 3 is 3. So 165 over 3 is 55. So what's my equation? 55x plus 35. Guys, remember, if they give you an equation, they ask you for the slope. I'm only asking for that coefficient, that number. Don't put the x on it. Slope is just that coefficient. Last piece. Write the equation for the graph, and then we're going to do a bunch of things with it. What do you notice about this graph? It is going down. Pay attention to your scale is by what? By 3s on both. So if I'm going to look for a nice pretty point, here's another nice pretty point, or you can use your x-intercept. So if I count, I'm going to go down 24 and over 18, right? If I just wanted to use those 2 points, you could use the one in the middle. So what is our rate of change? -24 over 18. What do we get? 6 goes into both of those. -4 over 3. What does it represent? So this is where I want you to really pay attention to those labels. So our y is miles and our x is minutes. So this is saying that she has traveled 4 miles in 3 minutes. 4 miles from where she needs to go from where she started. She's 4 miles closer every 3 minutes. So we can say 4 miles closer every 3 minutes because she's traveling to her destination. We can't write our equation yet. What's the y-intercept? 0.24. What does that mean?
24 up.
That's where she started. She started 24 miles away. So now can we write our equation? What's our equation going to be?
Plus 24.
Negative 4 over 3x plus 24. Last question. When y is 0, what is the value of x? So I need x when y is 0. Where do we see that? Where is y is 0? What's our x value? 18. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is called an x-intercept, right? It's crossing the x-axis. I want you to write a star, and I want you to know this is also called a 0. Not 0 slope, which is a horizontal line, but it is called a 0. So what is happening there? So at 18 minutes, she has 0 miles to go, right? So that means she got there. So we could also write, she got there in 18 minutes. You have to be able to interpret the slope, the y-intercept, and the x-intercept in terms of a situation if they give you labels.